Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the RBA, the Round Ball Academy podcast. This is your host, T. Drake. Hey, check it out, y'all. I have a special guest in here with me tonight. My guy, Coach Clay Walker, Mortimer Jordan High School in Alabama, Kimberly, Alabama, that is. But you know what? You know how I like to do it. I'm not going to introduce him. I'm going to give him the platform, let him introduce himself. Coach Clay, talk to us, man. Who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Clay Walker. I'm girls coach at Mortimer Jordan. I've been at Jordan for I think it's 8 or 9 year coaching now. I've been with the boys side for most all of those years up until now. I took the girls job, and I love where I'm at. The school, the community, administration, all that's great. So it's just a blessing to be able to move up the ranks there and kind of stay where I'm at, but get that promotion has been just a whirlwind, but it's been a blessing and it's been a lot of fun.
So this is your first year coaching girls.
Yes, sir.
So man, go ahead and tell me. So go ahead and tell me, how has it been thus far?
It's been good. It's different. The way you coach boys and the way you coach girls is different. Girls want to be pushed, they want to be coached hard, but you gotta know when to push those buttons. Where boys, it's usually just spit and fire. Girls, you gotta know when and where and what to say. But the good thing is they're a lot more self-motivated. You don't have to pull them along as much. They do things on their own a lot, which makes it a lot easier in a sense. But you got to catch yourself sometimes and realize that there is a difference, and you got to tone it down. So you got to have good assistants around you to do that. And I've been blessed with that to kind of help me move into the role and handle that change. I have really good assistants that have been great in that aspect.
Oh man, that is good, man. So tell us what is it that prompted you to go out there and get on that girl side, man, after being on the boy side for so long?
I mean, just being able to move into a head coaching spot, not have to leave schools, still have the same classroom, same stuff, all that stuff didn't change. And this is my community, where I'm from, where I want to be. And there's a lot of potential on the girls side, just a lot of talent and good parents. Like I said, great community administration that back you. You got all the things you need to be successful right there. And it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So just a lot of prayer went into it. But once I felt the go ahead after talking to my wife and, talking to the Lord, I knew that it was the right move.
Man, that's good stuff right there, man. So shout out to the RBA audience tonight. I have my special guest, Coach Clay Walker, on with me from Mortimer Jordan High School in Kimberly, Alabama. First year head coach on the girls side. So it's a lot that we're about to get ready to dive into. So whether you're watching via Instagram, via X, via YouTube, go ahead. If you have questions for Coach Walker, go ahead and drop them into the chat. Instagram, IG, I'm going back and forth, checking you out, seeing who's all over there, seeing if you're dropping any questions. So feel free to drop those questions, comments, or anything that you may want to put on the platform tonight, on the podcast tonight, and we'll get to them. But Coach, man, tell me, what has been the biggest difference from coaching boys and girls, from going from the boys side to the girls side? What has been the biggest difference that you've seen?
I think, you don't have to tell them things more than once, twice at most. They're they definitely listen a lot better. There's the boys, even the good ones. You gotta force them sometimes. They're stubborn, and I love those kids to death. But the boys side, you gotta make them follow you. Where the girls, they're pretty willing once they trust you, and I think it may be rare what the group that we got, but they get after it. There's never really a time where I got to get onto them for energy or for bad body language, or it's just they're locked in. They know what they want, and they realize the process to get there. And we've kind of had a little bit of a culture change, and maybe those first 2 weeks were kind of hard. But after that, once they realize that, hey, this works, what he's saying works, they've been just, full speed ahead. And they've been killing it in the weight room, on the track, and skill work, all that stuff. It's just rarely have anybody ever miss. If they do miss, it's usually for AAU. in July. It's not like they're just committed, and it's the same way with their parents. So it's a very good situation.
That is a great situation right there. When you got the parents committed, you got the girls that are run through the wall for you, man. That is an absolutely great place to be in. So you mentioned earlier when we were just coming into the show backstage that you said that you got the job late, and because I was asking you how did the summer go. So with you getting the job late, wanting to make sure you had a good summer leading into your first official year, how did things go? What are some of the things that you had to implement, and how did you go about, building that culture throughout the summer months?
I mean, we just kind of came in day one and just laid out the groundwork of this is how we're going to do things. These are our non-negotiables. We're not going to bend on these at all. These aren't going to change, and we're not changing the mold for you. You got to fit the mold. It's just we didn't really give them a choice to go the other way, and we had some that didn't make it, and that's okay. That's kind of part of that process. Is everybody's not gonna be on board. Everybody's not gonna be fit what you need in your program, but we got the ones that do and are committed to it. And I have a unique situation in the fact that I knew a lot of these girls before. I trained some of them when they were in 4th, 5th grade. I coached some of their brothers last year. So it's not like I'm a stranger or they're strangers. There was already groundwork or relationships built. I just kind of had to build on that and earn that trust even more. So
gotcha. That is absolutely great, man. Shout out to my guy, Coach Swears from Huntsville High School, that juggernaut up in Huntsville, them Panthers, joining us live tonight join us on IG. So shout out to Coach Swears. So, Coach, man, we talked a little bit about your personnel. Talk to us about some of your players that you got that's going to be, hitting that hardwood for you in a couple of months.
Yeah, I'll kind of go. I guess I'll go by grade a little bit. So we got Kendra Davis. She's a guard, a lefty, can really get downhill, can finish both hands at the rim. She's strong, takes care of the basketball. She's a smart player. I think she's close to 1,500 points in her career. Just somebody that's been playing the game at the varsity level for 5 years now, I think. So she's just a hard worker. Got a great family that push her and got her at stuff all the time and have her taking the extra steps outside of what we're doing to get better. So we look for her to have a big year for us her big senior year for us, especially as one of our leaders. And then 2 other seniors have Corinne Burnett. She's kind of our utility player. She did a do it all. Probably our best defender. She's long, lanky. She rebounds. She's our vocal leader. She's usually first in everything on the track in the weight room. She's just somebody that makes the right decisions in everything on and off the floor. I think about her commitment. They were at the Run of the Roses tournament this summer, and we had workouts early on a Monday morning, and I think they got back late that Sunday night. And I told her, I was like, I know y'all been playing all week, it's a long week. Take off, you're good. And I pull up to school, and she's already there in her car and beats me there. Just those are the type of kids you need. She's just one of those kids that whatever it takes, whenever it takes, she's going to do it. Our other last senior is Brinley Funderburk. She's shoots the pill off the ball, man. She's shot over 40% last year. Just a knockdown shooter that's straight A student council, does things on and off the floor the right way. I actually coached her twin brother since he was in 4th grade, so that we have those family relationships. And both of those kids, it's a credit to their mom and dad that they just are solid on and off the floor and just kids that you can depend on. Our lone junior is Maddie Matchin. She's a 6'3" forward, shoots it, just 3-level scorer, has great feet, soft hands. Another just gym rat, like days where I'm ready to go home. I got to tell her, all right, let's wrap it up. I got a wife and kid at home. We got to get going. We've been here. But that's the type of kids you want. Just they love the game, and she's somebody that we expect a huge year out of. The hardest working kid I think I've ever coached. Just loves the grind. I can't say enough about her work ethic. She's just somebody that I know is going to have a huge part in our success this year.
Mm-hmm.
10th grade, got one 10th grader. He's going to play varsity. Brinley Myrick, she was freshman last year. Obviously, just kind of think they were working her in the varsity a little bit, but this summer she showed a lot of potential of being able to contribute, and I think she's going to play big minutes for us off the bench this year. Might even find her way into the starting role.
Wow.
Another kid with a great family that just do whatever you need them to do. I know I keep reiterating those same things, but that's just what makes this job and this school special. It's just the community and the people around you.
Yeah.
I think any coach can attest that if you don't have parents that back you, it makes that job 1,000 times harder. But we have the best of the best when it comes to parents and administration. Just we're very blessed in that aspect.
Yeah.
And then another last one I'm going to highlight is Kaylani Scotland. She's ninth grader, but she got 2 years of varsity experience already. Shoots it. That's another difference between girls and boys is the maturity level of girls at that age and boys at that age. You see a lot more girls that are playing varsity in 8th, 9th grade, whereas if you got to be pretty special when playing a lot of varsity minutes as a 8th, 9th grader in 6A boys basketball, whereas girls, they just mature faster. So it's a good thing to be able to have those players in your program for so long. I mean, we still got 4 years with her, and she's already got 2 years of varsity under her belt, and that's going to be huge for her. I said that was the last one. There's one more. 8th grader, Kalia Chapman. She's varsity ready. I had people tell me that when I got the job, and I hadn't seen her that much, playing that much, but she came in and, after that second summer play date, I looked at Coach Goldsmith, my assistant, and I was like, yeah, you're right. She's ready. She's ready. She just does some things with the ball, passes she makes, the way she sees the floor. It's a good thing she's playing up, because if she was still playing in middle school, it'd be some long nights for those girls trying to guard her at the middle school level. But she's ready to play big minutes.
8th grader, right?
Oh yeah. She's another gym rat that just works her tail off all the time.
Wow. That's good stuff right there, man. I have Coach Clay Walker, Mortimer Jordan High School, first-year coach on the girls' side, joining me tonight on the podcast. Hey, our audience, thank you all so much for tuning in with us tonight. You want to have any questions and comments you want to drop in the chat, feel free to do so. I'm making sure that we're checking the chat, checking it on both sides, Instagram, and all the other platforms that we're streaming from. Hey, if you have the Mortimer Jordan community, go ahead and shoot coaches, players, staff. Let them know that Coach Walker is on with the RBA Podcast, which is boy T Drake, and we're having a great conversation tonight in regards to his players. He just went through a list of some of his players. He even got an 8th grader that's getting some varsity experience, and I can't wait to see her in action. Now, Coach, I've been around and witnessed some of the previous teams in Mortimer Jordan's on the girls' side, and I have to say that those girls was putting up that tray ball. They could shoot that rock. Tell me what's the difference between what I'm going to see from the old style to the style up under Coach Walker.
We're still going to shoot it. We're going to probably shoot at a higher clip than they did and shoot more shots.
That's a lot, Coach.
Yeah, we've been in there. Other than Maddie, we're not really going to kill you with size. We don't have a ton of girls that are just towering over you, but we got some that can shoot that thing, and they're willing to share it, and they don't really care who hits it. They just want to they enjoy team success, and we're replacing the older Scotland girl, Kaylani's older sister. She was averaged 20, I think it was 19, 20 points a game last year. So we are going to have to replace that. But other than that, we got everything coming back from a really competitive varsity team. And that's going to be huge for us. But you're right. Some of those old teams, they had some snipers. One of them, Sarah Canada, she's actually going to be on staff helping us this year, but she was, I think she's 1,000, 1,500 point scorer a few years ago for that team that went to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
So there's some familiar faces from those programs, and that's another thing about our community is you see a lot of the same names. There's big families around here, so you see a lot of younger sisters that come through, and their older sisters there's big shoes for them to fill, but I think the ones that we have on our team are certainly ready to do that, and we're certainly ready for the challenge of that.
That's good. So you're only losing one. You only lost one player off the last year's team.
Pretty much contributor. I think that's the one.
All right. So how far did they get last year?
I think they lost the Muscle Shoals in the sub-regional. I don't know if you play that game 10 times. I don't know. I think you could probably go 5 one way, 5 the other.
Okay. Just one of them nights.
Yeah, just one of those nights. I remember watching on FHS and just that they went 2-3 on them, just weren't hitting shots. And Kaylani, the leading scorer, got hurt in the area tournament. So she was playing with a bum shoulder, and that hurt them. But, that's the game. So it happens.
Yeah. So with that, the sub-regional game, what is it going to take for you to get this team to Birmingham and ultimately be able to lift up that blue map?
I think they just stay together and guard and rebound. Everybody wants to put the icing on the cake before they really bake it, and that you gotta worry about what the important things first, and then you can add the flash and the flare and all that. And that's been one of our biggest messages: just come in and work, come in and do the little things, do your job on the defensive end, make sure you're getting a body every time a shot goes up, make sure you're crashing the offensive glass hard, because the game, the speed of the game has changed over the years and that sort of thing, but the winning part hadn't. It's still the same. The game hasn't changed all that much, and the fact of the winning things are still the winning things. Mm-hmm. And that culture is what we're trying to instill. And I think that's ultimately what will get us to Birmingham. We're in an area with Coleman and Jasper. Jasper won 5A last year. Yeah. Coleman's always pretty well coached. And then we're in that region with Hazel Green, Athens, those teams. So it's going to be tough, but it's a challenge that I think we're ready for. I know we're ready for.
Man, that is great. I know Coleman has, I can't remember her name, nice little player over in Coleman that I don't have right off in front of me, but we know that Missy Odom, she's down in Montverde now, so that kind of opens up some things. I know they still got some players there, but that opens up some things for you as well. So that's going to be an interesting journey for you. But like you said, you sound very confident in regards to being able to make it through that juggernaut of a schedule that you got.
Yes, sir. I am. I mean, you got to beat the best to get there anyway, so you can't run from it.
Yeah. So let me ask you something, Coach. We've been talking basketball, and I want to once again shout out to the audience, the RBA audience. Thank you all so much for tuning into it with us tonight. I have Coach Clay Walker from Mortimer Jordan High School, first year head coach on the girls' side. But Coach, tell me, man, what is it that let me take the coach out. What is it that Clay Walker likes to do when he's not coaching, when he's not in the gym? What does he like to do outside of that?
Well, 2 months ago, my wife and I had our first kid, so that's been my favorite thing to do lately is just be with them any chance I can. I don't really do much more than coach and hang out with them. To be honest with you, they're the light of my life and my biggest blessing. So anytime, I love coaching, I love teaching, but anytime I can be home with them, that's what I like to do the most.
So you have a 2-month-old in the house.
He'll be 2 months tomorrow.
So. 2 months tomorrow, man. So tell me, how are you? How's your nights? How's your mornings? Are you getting any sleep? I mean, has it settled down some?
It has. I'm getting a little sleep. I credit to my wife. She's rock star. She does most of the heavy lifting there, and credit to her. She lets me get my rest. But I like to be involved a little bit. I'll get up in the middle of the night and feed him and do that. But he's been good to us for the most part. He ain't really kept us up all that much.
Oh man, that is great, man. That is great, and congratulations on that, man. That is absolutely. Let me ask you this, because I'm glad you kind of brought that to the table. If he doesn't want to play basketball, are you going to be upset, or are you going to push him to that hardwood? What's your thoughts?
Man, my wife and I've had that conversation. I don't want him to do anything he doesn't want to do, but he really ain't going to have a choice being around it all the time. And,
Yeah.
basketball is one of those sports. It's not like baseball and football where you got to practice in the heat or practice in the cold. It's a fun sport to practice, a fun sport to just play. And he's going to be around it his whole life. So I don't see how he won't. I mean, he's going to at least have to try 5- and 6-year-old ball.
You're going to have to at least try that, right?
Yeah, he's got to give it a shot.
So let me ask you this, Coach, because I kind of heard you mention a little bit about this that got me asking this question. How has your faith impacted your basketball journey?
I think it's everything. Growing up, I knew the Lord when I was younger, or I did the vacation Bible school thing, but not until I went off to college did I really start developing and seeking a true relationship with God. And before that, basketball was kind of my God, I guess you could say. I relate it to the Abraham Isaac story in the Bible a lot, where basketball wasn't a bad thing, but at some point I had to lay my Isaac down and trust God, and then He provided these opportunities to coach and to use the game to positively affect lives, and to have those two things combined has been special. And I wish I would have done it earlier in life, obviously, but since I found the Lord, it has made my coaching journey that much more special, because it's so much bigger than wins and losses. I'm a fierce competitor. I want to win. If we're playing paper, rock, scissors, I want to beat you. And if you beat me, I probably won't talk to you for a little bit. But, I think that the most important thing is still impacting young men, young women, and their lives and their future, especially their eternal future. That's just at the top of my priority list. And I obviously fail time and time again, but that's my goal every day, is to be a light and to be a extension of Christ.
Yeah. That is great, man. We know what the Bible says we've all, sinned and fallen short of His glory. So even when you're talking about your failures in Christ, and that we know that there is no failure. So I want to salute you for that, man, and just continue to press on in that matter, in that area. Let me ask you this question: Who's your mentor in basketball?
My mentor, I think my high school coach, Daniel Foy, was huge in my basketball journey. Just somebody that just kind of gave me a shot and pushed me, and when I was going the wrong direction, kind of steered me back with tough love. And he's somebody I still call on the phone all the time. I talk to, and every Father's Day, somebody I shoot him a text, because just he was a figure in a way for me there. I think my uncle Jeff was somebody that coached me when I was younger, that had a big impact. And then my dad was huge in my basketball journey, just at growing up, rebounding for me in the rain, coming home after working 12-hour days and still sitting out there and kicking it back out to me. We didn't have no shooting machine or anything like that. It was either somebody rebounding for you or going to get. So my dad was very much involved in that. It's not a basketball guy, but a coach and mentor, Mike Burrow, older football coach, that he's still always around at the high school, and just is always giving me little tips here and there, and showing me different things about this. You can do this way. And he's just a relationship guy, and I watch him interact with kids and how he builds those relationships with those kids, and they run through a wall for him. So he's another person that I look up to in that aspect.
That's cool, man. That's good. We all need, those leaders, those mentors, those coaches, business coach, life coach. We all need those to be able to help us get to where we want to get to in life. So I commend you on that. So the girls, or let me just say the women's game in general has just really skyrocketed. Caitlin Clark has a lot to do with that. What are your thoughts in regards to how Caitlin Clark has helped to transform women's basketball?
She's just an exciting player to watch. She's the way she shoots it from deep and the passes that she makes, the decisions she makes on the floor. You just don't see that, and you don't see that in a ton of men's or women's basketball. But women's basketball is kind of a first of somebody that just, you've had your Candace Parkers and those before, but she's kind of, I think, combined with the social media age, has been able to take advantage of her time period and really really push that and to carry that on to bring that attention to the girls' side of things. And I don't know how many players I got that I would want them to play like her, because she's kind of one of a kind. There's not many people that can do what she does. So I wouldn't say she's somebody I'd want a ton of my girls to model their game after, unless they could do it like she does it.
Yeah.
But she's definitely special and fun to watch.
Man, that is good stuff right there, Coach. Man, you got a pack. We talked a little bit about your schedule. What are some of the on your schedule? What are some of the games that you kind of this for a coach? This is hard to answer because every game is an important game. But what are some of the games that you're looking forward to early that's going to kind of give you an indication of how your team has the potential to do the remainder of the season?
I think that Hazel Grade tip-off event November 9th obviously is going to, depending on who we play, but you're going to get some of the best in the state. You're going to see how you match up there. That's going to be a huge event for us. We have Hartselle early, who are always a solid, well-coached team. I'm trying to think of our schedule. We had Hewitt Trustful down, but we had some scheduling mix-ups, and I'm trying to find a place for us to get that back. Coach Hunter does a great job there, and that'll be a huge measuring stick for us. So, but those are some few that come to mind. I can think of early in the schedule will be Hartselle, that Hazel Green, and then we're in Hartselle's tournament shortly after we play them. So I imagine there's going to be some tough competition there too.
Gotcha. So when it comes down to Mortimer Jordan's basketball program, both the boys and the girls have first-year coaches that's going to be leading them into the 24-25 season. Tell me how's that effect, that culture change impacting Mortimer Jordan with two first-year head coaches?
Well, there's been a lot of changes. We also got a new principal this year. Our principal went to the board to take the AD job at Jefferson County, and then our head football coach retired. So we got new head football coach. We got new offensive coordinator on the football side, new boys and girls basketball.
Wow.
So there's a lot of change there. And I think just the culture of the community kind of has bled through. You see the same things happening, the same discipline and stuff happening, because it's just kind of ingrained in the kids how they grow up. But the boys and the girls basketball, I've known Coach Johnsey for a few years, and he's real organized, real discipline oriented, and I think that's going to bode well for them there. And we've been able to work good together and work some things out. And scheduling wise, we've been able to really work things out there and kind of stay on the same page with a lot of things. So. Just the culture of the community and the school, it's kind of the backbone of everything. So the more things change, the more they stay the same. We've had a lot of mix-ups, but the importance of what's important to people in the community hasn't changed.
Wow. That's the stuff that you got, a culture that you guys have established there in the Mortimer Jordan and Kimberly, Alabama area. And it's like I said, I've been down to the tournament that you guys hosted on the girls' side, and the atmosphere is absolutely amazing atmosphere for basketball for boys and girls. And you guys do a real remarkable job with the student athletes in that area. So I commend you on that. Hey, look, to the audience, thank you all so much for joining in tonight with us. I got my guy, Coach Clay Walker from Mortimer Jordan High School, first-year head coach. First time on with me on the RBA podcast, but definitely will not be the last time on. Excited about his future, excited about what is ahead of him on his first-year journey that he's about to embark upon. And look, just, if you have any questions, I'm checking the chat, just making sure we're good, just checking everything. But Coach, hey man, what is it, that you feel as though you have to continue to do as a person and as a coach to be the best for the young ladies this season?
I just got to be able to adapt to some things. Just kind of take the punches, the highs and the lows. You can't get too high, can't get too low. You just got to stay the course. It's a long season. It's not like football where you can lose a few games and then it's over with. It's a tournament sport, so we have a 3-team area, so there's only 4 games that matter leading up to that area tournament. And we all want to win them all, but those are the only ones that matter in a sense of the postseason. So you're not gonna have your best game every game. You just gotta be ready when it comes tournament time, and that's our goal, is just stay stay the course, be able to, be able to adapt when the girls need you to adapt, but be consistent when they need you to be consistent. And I think the latter is the most important there. It's just consistency, just coming in every day and being excellent, the best we can be.
Well, there it is, Coach. And I'm so excited for you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing your team in action. I will definitely be at some of those. I'm looking to hopefully my schedule permit and allow me to be there at the Hazel Green tournament on November 9th. Looking forward to seeing your team in action, because I think that your style that you're bringing to the court is going to really, really be beneficial to the personnel that you have and to your hopes of getting through that area and through that region, man, because I like what you're doing, like what I hear, like what we and I have talked about, offline. And you guys are going to have opportunity to really do some big things, man, especially with the hardworking young ladies that you have. So I want to personally just say thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. We're past the 31 mark. Got a lot of people that's tuning in tonight go around. So, Coach, we're going to be dropping this podcast, and hopefully, we get it out to the Kimberly community so that they can see the character that they have and the potential that they have in you as a first-year head coach there with the young ladies. And I truly believe that you're about to do something great with those young ladies and with that program.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, so Coach, man, hey, look. Anything I can ever do for you, man, reach out to me. Like I said, Will and I definitely be in touch going forward. I look forward to seeing you very soon and seeing you on that sideline. And from there, man, best of luck with you this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye now.